So, female activist, multimedia personality, radio presenter,
TV presenter,
TV presenter, like yo.
sometimes actress, video vixen.
Okay, this
There's a lot.
introduction is gonna be the whole show. Like, guys, thank you very much for coming to Conversations with Chef Cooler. That was the
Thank you for having
introduction.
me. Thank you for having me.
I would. Welcome everybody to Conversations with Chef Cola with ATV, African Vegan on the Budget TV. And today I have a very special friend, Miss Red. Me introducing her is a little bit tough because her body of work is amazing. So since I'm uncomfortable, I'm going to make it a little bit uncomfortable for you.
why are you uncomfortable?
Let's start by you taste my food first.
Before you. Oh, okay.
And then I'll be asking you questions.
All right. So, as I'm tasting, so I'm Miss Red.
Yeah.
Samantha Musa is my real name. I'm a media personality, multimedia personality.
Multimedia personality.
So that's radio, that's television, that's online. You know, online has got a lot of money these days. So wherever the money's at, that's where I'm at.
That's where you're at.
Yeah. I'm a body positivity activist. So basically, because, I'm a plus size lady, I always like to stand up for women to embrace their different body types. It's not just about being plus size and the fact that the world kind of shuns our size, but it's just about whether you are smaller, whether you are thicker, whether you are shorter, whether you're taller. Just appreciate your body as it is, and whether you want to make it better, that's really up to you. But at the end of the day, it's about embracing what you are.
Okay. Do you find yourself a little bit self-conscious being a plus size model? I call you a plus size model because I think you're a model. But do you find yourself being a little bit self-conscious? Is that something you had to learn to grow out of? And speak about that in terms, especially with your diet. What did your diet have to change to embrace it? Like, how did that go?
I think I generally just love food. Love trying new food, different foods. So I'm not someone who kind of minimizes or increases or whatever. Yeah. But I just try to do like portion control. Yeah. But I don't think it's because of the fact that I'm just so liberal about a lot of things. I don't think my diet has been affected because of my size or the lack of being a healthier size. But I like to be as healthy as possible, but without necessarily changing my eating patterns. Yeah.
I like to say one thing, whether you're skinny, tall, plus size, a midget or whatever, it's not about it's about your diet, being healthy, but your diet doesn't make you your body structure. Whether you like it or not, that's your body structure, so you have to embrace it. So I appreciate that. First of all, what do you think about that?
I like it. So I'm trying to find out what's in it. Because it tastes nice. I had it with some bread. It tastes very nice, but what's in here?
Right, so that's a mushroom white sauce type of stew, right? So we've got mushrooms and we've got onions. And
what type of mushrooms?
Oyster mushrooms and almond milk. So in the vegan diet, they like to use a lot of mushrooms because it kind of gives you the meaty
taste,
and also it's kind of filling. So we use a lot of mushrooms, and that's what gives you the meaty texture. So you got two options when you want to do the meaty texture in veganism. So either you use natural products like mushrooms, or you create by using like flowers, different flowers, etc. I don't like using flowers to create meat. I like using natural products, so that's why I always go for that, because it gives you more flavor, nutrition, and most importantly, the ingredients are affordable. So
I always think to myself, veganism seems like an expensive thing. We're like the average Zimbabwean, so I'm always trying to find out like how do people actually do it.
The funny thing is that a lot of Zimbabweans don't want to claim that they're vegan or plant-based diets because we've been tuned to say that meat equals wealth. But I believe that our ancestors were actually vegan. We didn't eat as much meat, and it's because of colonization that we learned a lot of meat eating practices. So also colonization taught us that meat has value. So if you go Kumusha, the rural areas, people they'll keep one chicken or two chickens, two cows, and the animals look frail, they look skinny, but they will never kill them. And in rural Zimbabwe, we don't have electricity, and therefore we don't have fridges.
Keep the meat, yeah.
Exactly. So we are on plant-based diets and we're on vegan diets, but because of feeding my chest that meat equals wealth.
Right.
But a lot of us are. And even in the suburbs, a lot of people are not affording meat. Meat is an expensive thing these days.
Girl, you are telling me. I know this life.
I know people who say that we've switched off our fridges because of CESA. Why? There's no meat, so what's the point? So that's, I don't know, veganism, I hate to say that it's political, but then...
Is it?
It is. Because of the way people conceive it. Wealth, and it's something that's expensive. It's something for white people, privileged people, etc. So that just spells politics. So,
I see it.
Yeah. I don't know. That's to answer your question. What do people think about veganism, or people vegan in Zimbabwe? Yes, but
they definitely are, right?
Yeah. Just out of pride that we will never
ever say, hey guys, I'm eating non-meat dish.
Exactly.
Crazy.
I'm part of a campaign called Veganery. It's an international campaign, and basically it happens every January, whereby people are challenged to go vegan for 31 days. Don't include meat at all. Would you ever take part in such a challenge?
I think I could. You know why? I've been having this, and it really does, like you were saying, the mushrooms. It tastes like you have meat in the food. And again, maybe it's because I'm trying to actively be more healthy with what I'm eating. So maybe, but I don't know. I think I could do it. Given the right tools, given the right guidance, because I wouldn't know what to do by myself. Like at home, I wouldn't even know how to shop for vegan food. I wouldn't know where to go to get affordable vegan food, because again, that's conditioning that we automatically assume
veganism is expensive,
right?
Yeah.
But if I could like fix that, I'll probably do it.
You probably do it. You're a mother of 2 daughters.
Yes.
What's like, and you're busy. How do you manage their diets to ensure that they're having a healthy diet?
Honestly, I don't manage the diets. I've got someone at home who helps with that, because I think it's always difficult. You know, it's different when you're like a single parent. You know, like a single caregiving parent.
Yeah.
I really try to balance it out, but if I say I'm balancing it out, I'll be lying to you. But I have people around me who always there to just help me. My brother, the help at home, my mom comes in and out. And I think that's kind of been able to balance it slightly. It's still kind of tilting, but it's hard.
Do you cook for them ever?
Once in a
blue moon. I grew up,
red moon maybe, but once in a while I do.
My mom was a single parent, and I barely saw my mom. And it was actually, like you're saying, it was the helper who made sure that we had something to eat. But then she never ensured that we're eating healthy, so it was always the fast option for her. So she'll do takeout so that she can get the laundry done and get this done, or like just put us to sleep or something like that. So I think in this day and age, in 2020, we need to kind of like question what our children are eating.
That's
because
true. Because there's so many GMOs.
Exactly.
And like you don't know. I was reading some of the ingredients on some of like the chips that kids have, and it's like really toxic ingredients. But we allowing our children to consume that. And I think you are right in that we need to be more cognizant of what we're giving our children. Yeah. You know, even sugar.
And make your own thing. Like it's kind of, this solution is kind of expensive, but then if you get a private chef who comes in, not even a vegan chef, a private chef who comes in and teaches your helper how to make food for 4 weeks, she can start reinventing food and dishes, etc. But at least she has
makes it even healthier.
Exactly. It's about healthiness, and a lot of kids, like the crap that they're eating, half of it is not even real anymore. Like they'll be, if you give like a 2-year-old broccoli, they'll be like, what? Or how? How does this? What is this? What are we doing?
You kind of need to make the food exciting as well.
Exactly.
So
food is
that's actually a very good idea. Thank you.
All right. So veganism, even though people like to say that it's about it's expensive, I think it's about sustainability. And one way that you can be sustainable, whether you live in the urban area or the rural area, is growing your own plants.
Subsistency farming.
Subsistency farming. Where did you learn that?
I mean, got a little veggie garden there, got some paprika there, some cabbage over there. So, we figured out. And I think in every, Zimbabwean household, you always find that, mama, they'll have, my veggie growing in the back. So, if you don't have that, it's very rare to not find that. Even in, the suburbs in the north, you'll find big houses, but there's, a little corner with, veggies, and that's just how we were raised.
Exactly. I have cooked you a couple of vegan meals.
Okay.
And you know a little bit about veganism and plant-based diet. If you were to take your imaginary someone to dinner, or no, not take them to dinner, make them a vegan meal, what would be your starter, your main, and your dessert?
Okay, I've been fortunate enough because I've actually got a friend of mine who's a vegan chef. Her name is Chef Cola. So she's kind of introduced me to veganism. I think before you, I mean, wait, who does vegan food in Zimbabwe? In Harare, So it was actually a really great way of exposure for me, and I want to thank you for that, because if it wasn't for that, probably wouldn't know until today. But there's this soup that she made. It was kind of potato-y. I wouldn't know the names of the dishes, but it's almost felt like there is a butternut or potato or sweet potato or something like that. Right. One of those soups. Then there was another, you did a beetroot Wellington, I think. It's a Wellington,
one of
but
my signature dishes.
It didn't have a meat.
Wellington.
It was a beet Wellington. Yeah, so that was the main course, right?
Yes.
And then there is this, I don't know how you did it, but it was an ice cream, but without any cream.
Nice cream.
Oh, it's called nice cream. What did you use? Almond milk?
Almond milk, banana, little bit this, little bit that.
So there we go. So that'll be
that'll be your set menu.
Yep.
So
with my limited knowledge.
How much would I be charging you for the intellectual property?
That is just it's a world of intellectual property. I can't even pay you. Where would I have gotten this kind of exposure? Me, a girl from Harare, from the streets.
Went to spaces, bro.
I mean, but girl, you did this, man.
I went. Got you.
I mean,
Please.
Yes, and then back to your thing. You're supposed to ask me some more questions.
Listen. She's like, what's the other one?
What's the other one?
All right. So how can, as an outsider from who's looking in towards the plant-based and vegan community, how can we reach non-vegans more? What can we do to make it more reachable, more accepted? Because a lot of people like vegan, and before they even taste it, they'll be like, nope.
No meat.
No meat. So I come from a non-vegan family, and sometimes we order takeaway a lot. And I like to phone the restaurants to find out whether they've got vegan diets. And I found a very prominent restaurant here in Zimbabwe. I was just like, do you guys have a vegan option? Before I could even continue the conversation or whatever, he was just like, we don't do vegan. Tap. So I phoned you back because I'm like, why were you so rude? And I asked him, do you even know what veganism means? And I was just like, thank you very much, sir. Tap. Yeah. So what can we do in terms of the vegan community to look a little bit more appealing, more accepting to non-vegans?
I think it's a conversation that starts off by actually introducing to people without telling them that it's vegan. So I remember at one of the dinners, we were sitting amongst a lot of prominent business women, men, and there was one particular very prominent businessman, and he said, before I came here, I would have never in my life, but because I've tasted it, I have a whole different meaning to it. And I think since then, he's actually become a very vocal vegan.
Really?
I've been in the streets. I've seen him once or twice. And he's like, man, I'm just living a vegan life, and he's very happy. He's healthier. But I think it's about communicating more, in terms of giving people the experience. So, experiential communication.
Yes.
So don't necessarily tell people. Go out there and say, hey guys, we want to just do a dinner for you. We're not going to tell you exactly what's what, but we want you to just taste it and just figure it out. And then at the end, maybe you can just tell them, hey guys, did you know that this entire meal had absolutely no meat.
Don't you think someone will get angry and be like, anyway, I would have never paid for this?
But that's the thing. I think it's after they taste it, they may have a different opinion to it.
Okay.
So sometimes I think communication just needs to be, I mean, everything is psychology.
Yeah. Okay, that makes sense.
Everything is psychology. But because you did rightfully say that a lot of people will be resistant in the beginning. Mm-hmm. But when you just give them the experience, they might change their mind. So I think it's a slow but sure process, but you can get there.
Yeah. And one thing that a lot of people need to realize is that why I'm specifically promoting the vegan diet as a Black person is that a lot of diseases in terms of our Black community can be prevented and will be prevented by us switching towards more plant-based or vegan diets. Okay. And our generation, our race is missing out on a lot. We're not we're not living to be great grandmothers anymore. We're dying out, and it's not like the diseases that are coming into this world are only targeting Black people. It's the way our race is approaching these diseases and these situations. So that's one thing why I'm such a big advocate on veganism, because when diseases impact our race, especially in a third world environment, then we don't have a standing chance. So what's the best way to do something? By using natural products. Mild example, I was speaking to a lady who's had HIV and now has AIDS, and I was just like, you've been surviving for as long as I live. I'm 31 and she's had it for longer. Yeah. And then I was asking her how you don't have the money to go to the pharmacy, these pills are expensive. And she was like, simple things like kumusha, blackjack grows wildly. Yes. We use that to turn it into soup, and then that thickens our blood and makes our blood healthier. Yeah. And then she was just like, these things are what our ancestors taught us. This is nothing new. Yeah. And that's why I say that veganism originated with our ancestors. It all comes down to colonization. Yeah. And it all comes down to accepting our history, knowing our history, understanding it, and now doing something about it. So that's why a lot of people are like, why are you such an advocate of veganism? It's because our race needs it. This is information that's was privileged to other races. But we never really took it and used it. Yeah. So it's interesting that you say that, because I was having a discussion with Patrick Mavros the other day, and he is a famous jeweler. He's Zimbabwean, but then he does jewelry for the royal family in England, etc. Wow. So he's like a really big jeweler outside of Zimbabwe. So he was saying to me, because he was creating a line of Nyora. Some of it is like Shechivani, right? But then for other people, they don't understand that it was actually like a way of being branded for your husband. So there's a whole history for it. So he was telling me, I'm like, I don't even know some of this stuff. Yeah. And he's like, you know what? The African continent sustained itself for years before we were colonized. And you must ask yourself, why were we so successful for so many years before we were colonized? How did we survive? What was done in order for us to live the life that we lived then? And he was very successful. And then it got me thinking as well, to say that I think a lot of our culture has been lost. And so we start to shun it and everything about us. I think this was also part of the colonization of Black people or African people, where they told us that anything that is like you is bad. So when we look at our traditional history, we look at it as if it's dirty, simply because we were conditioned to believe that was dirty, so that we can move and shift to their ways. Yes. Yeah. So all of those things, we need to revisit those conversations and just ask ourselves where we are at. And I genuinely believe, now we're getting into like spiritual conversations. Yeah, that's okay. I genuinely believe that there's a higher source, right, which is God. Yeah. And even before colonialization and Christianity came into Africa, we used to go to God, right, but we would go through our ancestors. Yes. So now I think we are able to go to God directly, but it doesn't change the fact that we understood religion and we understood belief before we were given a manual as to how others believed they should worship, but we had always been worshiping. Exactly. So there's a lot of conversations around that, and rightfully so. It speaks to who we are as Africans. It speaks to how we survived as Africans, and this is the very reason why I do believe we can actually just survive on plant-based diet. Exactly. Do you know that I actually saw it on the Shade Room, that there's a Zimbabwean doctor, a young man, I think 33 years old, in the States, who wrote a medical book this year about how to spot diseases on black skin. This is a Zimbabwean young man, and these are the things that we need to speak about. And I actually want to like Google and do more research. Who's this man? What's the book? Buy the book. Not even download it. Buy the book, because
Supporting
black businesses. Because I think one thing about 2020 or our generation, I feel so old, is that when we have opinions about things, is that okay, you're vegan. Go do your research. What veganism is, and
we don't do enough research. We just jump onto something like, oh, Ningi Ningi said it's cool, so let's do that. Or Ningi Ningi says it's not cool, so let's not do that.
Exactly.
Without actually going back to understand what's actually being said.
And it's not just plants, because if you just shock your body into not having meat or just eat plants, it can actually poison your body. So you need to actually do your research on what you're talking about.
Yeah. That's a lot of things that
we spoke about.
Yep.
Thank you so much.
Not doing that. Where's the sanitizer?
I knew you were gonna ask.
Shoot. Where's the sanitizer? Jeez Louise, thank you very much, because I went out about this life. Don't spray my food.
I'm not spraying.
Thank you. Please
sanitize, seriously, and wear a mask, please.
Stay home. I don't know about stay home, but stay safe. Put on a mask.
Hustle smart.
Sanitize. Hustle smart. Eat vegan.
Yes. And people be like, but you guys were not wearing masks on the thingy.
Man, we're like distance.
It's distance.
Jeez.
Thank you so much for coming to Conversations with Shapola.
Thank you for having the conversations, Shapola.
Oh, I hope I didn't speak too much.
No.
All right.
I think that's how we learn. You know, so important. So guys, follow me at I Misread on every platform. But maybe we should do something. You should just do like a book or something, and then you can like make me get into this whole vegan thing, like a 30-day challenge.
We can do a 30-day challenge with the kids, and then like incorporate cooking on a budget, veganism with the family, so that we can get you cooking for your children.
You see,
and you know what they eat.
So you heard that, Gia Fest. She promised to do a 31 challenge with me now. That's a wrap. You can cut now.
All right, thank you guys. Bye. Oh, wait.